All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're going to build your ultimate chef's toolkit. We're talking about the 12 core skills that are honestly the foundation for all great cooking. Once you nail these, you're not just following recipes anymore, you're starting to create them.
So, what's the big secret, right? What really separates a good cook from a truly great chef? Well, I'll tell you. It's not some magic ingredient, it's not just what you cook, it's all about how you cook it. The real answer isn't tucked away in some secret recipe book. Nope, it's all about mastering those fundamental techniques, the ones that give you total control and confidence in the kitchen. So here's how we're going to tackle this. We've broken it down into 5 key stages. First up, your essential toolkit. Then we'll get into mastering those knife skills. After that, it's all about turning up the heat. Then we'll learn how to bring it all together. And finally, we'll dive into the secret science behind the food. Sounds good? Let's go. Okay, let's jump into section 1, your essential chef's toolkit. We're calling this the foundations of precision for a reason. Seriously, before you even think about picking up a knife or turning on the stove, your success starts right here. It's all about that careful, accurate prep. So this really comes down to 3 super simple but, totally non-negotiable steps. First, get your workspace and equipment organized. Then, you've got to weigh your solids, things like flour and sugar. And third, measure your liquids. Oil, water, you get the idea. Look, you might get away with guessing the amount of onions for soup, but baking, that's a whole different ballgame. It's basically science. Getting those quantities of flour or sugar or oil exactly right is absolutely crucial. No shortcuts here. So how do you know when something's actually done, perfectly cooked? Well, professional chefs don't guess, they test. They use a temperature probe to get a super precise internal reading on meat. That's key for safety. For a cake or a potato, a simple skewer will tell you if the texture is right. When it comes to baking, you're using your eyes and ears. Look for that gorgeous golden brown color, listen for that little sizzle, and of course, the best part, the final check is always the taste test. All right, prep is sorted. Time to move on to section 2, and this is a big one, mastering your knife skills. We're talking about arguably the most important tool in your entire kitchen. And listen, mastering it isn't just about being fast. It's about safety, it's about precision, and it's about getting consistent results every single time.
Okay, if you want to use a knife safely and, actually effectively, you need to master 2 basic grips. For big, round things, like an onion, you're going to use the bridge hold. Your thumb and forefinger make a little bridge over the food, and the knife just goes right underneath. Super stable. But for slicing, you switch it up to the claw grip. This is where you tuck your fingertips in, kind of like a claw, and let your knuckles guide the knife. It feels a little weird at first, but trust me, this simple trick protects your fingers and gives you incredible control.
Now let's talk cuts. These are basically the language of the kitchen. Sliced and diced, we all know those. But then you have julienne, which is cutting things into those really long, thin matchsticks. Perfect for a stir fry that cooks in minutes. And filleting, that's a bit more advanced, sure, but it's how you perfectly take fish or meat off the bone. The big takeaway here is that every single cut has a purpose. It's not just for looks. It directly changes how your food cooks and even how it feels when you eat it. All right, ingredients are prepped, knife skills are on point. What's next? Well, now it's time for section 3, turning up the heat. Believe me, the way you apply heat can totally transform your dish. It's one of the biggest, if not the biggest, factor in the final flavor and texture. So first, let's talk about cooking with water. Think of these as your gentle giants. Boiling, that's for tough stuff, like pasta, that can handle the rough and tumble of bubbling water. Steaming is just brilliant for vegetables, right? It cooks them perfectly, but keeps all those good nutrients and that vibrant color. And then there's poaching. This is for your super delicate foods like eggs or a beautiful piece of fish. It's all about gentle heat, cooking them flawlessly without tearing them apart. Okay, now let's flip the script and talk about dry heat and fat. This, my friends, is where the real flavor magic happens. We're talking browning, shallow frying. That's how you get that incredible crust on a burger. Stir frying, that's all about high, intense heat and lots of movement for something super fast and fresh. And roasting, oh man, roasting in an oven with some fat, that is the secret to those potatoes that are just impossibly crispy. All of these methods are designed to build deep, rich, amazing flavors. Okay, so we've prepped our food, we know how to cook it. Now in section 4, it's time to bring it all together. This is where the real creativity kicks in. It's where we take all those individual components and transform them into amazing, complete dishes. Let's take a classic example, something you'll use all the time, a roux-based sauce. This is the foundation for so many things, like a classic mac and cheese sauce. All it is a paste made from fat, usually butter, and flour. That's your roux. Then you just gradually whisk in your liquid like milk. As you heat it up, something incredible happens. It just transforms into this perfectly smooth, thick sauce. Seriously, this one technique is the key that unlocks hundreds of classic recipes. And dough, what about dough? I mean, at its heart, it's just flour and some kind of liquid, right? But the real magic, the secret, is in the kneading. The act of working the dough develops something called gluten. That's a protein that gives bread that amazing, satisfying chew. It gives pasta its perfect bite, and it gives pastry that light, flicky structure. If you can master this one idea, you've basically unlocked the entire world of baking. Combining ingredients is way more than just mixing stuff in a bowl. It's a total art form. Think about it. You can layer ingredients, like in a lasagna, to build these really complex flavors with every bite. You can coat something, like fish, with breadcrumbs to add a whole new texture. You can shape and bind things together to make meatballs or burgers, or you can marinate them, just letting those spices and flavors soak deep into the food. It's all about creativity. And that brings us to our final section, Section 5. This is, you could say, the secret weapon of every single great chef out there. It's understanding the science, the actual chemistry of what's happening to your food when you cook it. This is how you gain ultimate control in the kitchen. Okay, here's a big one that trips a lot of people up, so listen close. Let's talk about gelatinization versus gelation. Gelatinization is what we saw with our roux sauce, remember? The starch granules absorb liquid and swell up when you heat them, and that's what makes the sauce thick. Gelation is different. That's when something like a custard or a jelly sets as it cools down. So one happens when it gets hot, the other when it gets cold. It's a really crucial difference to remember. Have you ever really thought about what's going on when you cook an egg? The technical word for it is coagulation. All that means that heat is literally changing the structure of the proteins inside, taking them from a liquid to a solid. And guess what? That exact same process is what happens when meat or fish goes from soft and raw to firm and cooked. Okay, what about an emulsion? This is a super clever kitchen trick. It's how you force two liquids that absolutely hate each other, like oil and water, to actually mix together and stay mixed. You just need a little helper, a third ingredient called an emulsifier, to hold them together. The perfect example is mayonnaise, where the egg yolk is the emulsifier that holds the oil and lemon juice together. This little bit of science is the secret behind everything from a simple salad dressing to a fancy hollandaise sauce. And last but not least, let's talk about getting some air into our bakes. Raising agents are what create the gas bubbles that make things light and fluffy. You've got three main types. There's biological, like yeast that makes bread rise. There's chemical, like baking powder that you use in cakes. And then there's mechanical, which is just a fancy way of saying you're whisking a ton of air into something, like when you beat egg whites to make a meringue. So there you have it. We've gone all the way from simply weighing your ingredients and holding a knife properly, right through to the deep science of things like coagulation. These 12 skills, they are your toolkit. They're the fundamental building blocks that give you the freedom and, most importantly, the confidence to stop just following a recipe and to start really cooking. So the toolkit is yours now. All 12 of those essential skills are laid out right in front of you. There's really only one question left. Which one are you going to master first?